Mending, discovering inner archaeology in nature. This body of work rests in nature, not just the natural world, but our natural histories. When we place ourselves in the presence of quiet observation and rhythmic work, we come to discover our redacted history. The pace, the thread, the stitch binds us to our inner voices, bringing to the forefront our past. The sun drenching our face, birds singing, leaves rustling, quietly working asks us to look at the fabric of our beings, asks us to feel our history, asks us to touch it and bring it back into our present body. And with that, we stitch it from mind to finger to cloth. This experience returns the coded language we create to speak with our inner selves. Nature has the power to return us there. The unfiltered noise of the natural world resounds in who we are. It belongs in us. We need to listen to that rhythm of life once more and stitch it back into being. So this body of work sits in a third space, as was said in the write-up. So there is the natural world and our kind of human world, and to me this is a third language that we create together. It is a spiritual space that we live in together. So this is the ash collector, and it begins the show because life is eternal, and they collect and return life over and over and over again in this world. And so this here is obviously no end, and that is in Morse code here, and down here is the international distress, SOS, SOS. And so this begins the show as acknowledging sort of everlasting life. And that each piece in the show has a higher purpose and a task within this cosmology that we've created. So this is the Seer, and again in Morse code is the Seer down here. Now, part of their purpose is the multiple eyes. They can transport in mind only. So they can see into the world, but they stay in our present world. So that they are vision. He's a visionary who can go, or they're not gender specific per se, they travel and they can foresee what's coming, and they come and report to our world how things are going to unfold and things to watch for in this world. And again, both are eco-printed, hand-stitched, embroidered, and assemblage, all natural. So this is called the pathway, and you'll see here Morse code, the pathway down here. But what this is kind of the entrance into this universe that we've created. And these are the watchers and the seers who are overseeing the protection of the entry gates of the world. So there's multiple pathways potentially to enter this universe, but she's standing guard, they're observing, and the ghosts are watching to make sure that this world is protected and safe. And this is naturally rusted, black bean dyes, leaf print on rust, so it takes on that metal color. So it's all naturally dyed except this little square right here. And this is called the prophet, and the donkey is obviously the prophet, and it's up here for the utmost respect. It's in gold, Morse code here, and they are truth tellers, and they are responsible for our sentient beings and making sure that we're conscious of it at all times. And as well, you'll see in this piece a lot of mending and repairing, which is part of the prophet's job, is to heal and to show and to grow. And so that's why it's put together and put back together and put back together in a harmonizing way. So this piece is called communing. So obviously she can absolutely sound her presence into this third world. We have ourselves a little interloper who's coming into the communing here, our rabbit. And so she is speaking to womanhood. She's honored with her gold antlers, so to speak, and her job is really just sit with, absorb, and make one voice of these two worlds and make them come together and sing. So this is called the windrider, and she specifically has quest here because she's on a quest. So this is a young girl, and she has the ability to leave her body, and she's transporting herself into this dimensional world on a quest to start to learn and discover what is available in this third dimension, and that is her strength, is her ability to leave and return to her body at will. So this piece is called She Who Collects the Star Debris. So she is out right into the stratosphere, and she is speaking to and collecting the elements of our worlds. So we have the bones here, and scrap metals, and planets, and natural elements. And this is a rusted paint can lid, and this is a natural black bean dye over top of this, and we've got rusted grates, and we have rusted prints, silks, beautiful silks here, all speaking of the collecting of the stardust. That is her role in the atmosphere. So this piece is called She Who Walks in Silence, Nourishing. So she travels the earth and walks everywhere quietly, slowly walking, and she's pulling from the deepest, corest parts of planet Earth, and she's pulling up the nutrients required through the roots, into the trees, into the sky, up to the top, feeding that life source and letting it rain back down and nourishing. So this is her perpetual job, is the roamer, and she silently nourishes Earth. This is naturally dyed eucalyptus, and this created this color here. This is naturally dyed flowers. And this is a turmeric and marigold dye on the silk, including, of course, the rusts. So this piece is called 2R1 Fluid. So it's speaking to the rhythm of the tides, but specifically to the twins, to the math and the emulation that exists in the natural world. And it speaks to water, to liquid, to embryonic fluid, to tears, to all that happens in our natural bodies, in our natural worlds that we are connected to and timed to. I think the twins is we're not alone. We are tied to these worlds, and we have a connected other that is there. And this is an indigo dyed here, the silks here, natural cottons here, and this you can't quite tell, but this is all hand stitched in complete harmony with that. So this is called the river map, and this speaks to the the pathways and the currents that this world lives in. So it's sort of in harmony with the pathways. So you have the gates into the world, you have the water worlds, the land world, and this is the water. This is the river map. So you'll see the different channels and different ways to enter the space. And these is rusted cans here with overstitching, indigo dyed wrapping. This is a needle felted clouds, turmeric dyed ferns, indigo printed, natural leaves, and binding, speaking to reeds and the waterways in the work. So this piece is one of the characters from the work come into 3 dimensions, and her name is She Who Walks with the Dead and Puts Them to Sleep. So her job in the universe is to find the suffering and the dying and to place them to rest in the most honorable way possible. And so this is all natural dyed silks with leaves and evergreens and onion skins. These are tea dyed down linens. And she has the furs and the bones and the skulls of those that she needs to transfer into their resting place in the world. And if you take a look along the back, you'll see beautiful skull work, all hand knitted and all naturally dyed. And we have dehydrated chicken bones, and this is the porcupine skull here in reverse, where the fangs would be there. This is all hand knitted, naturally dyed. There's their pelts, their skins, and this is avocado. And if you come round, if you can see in the right light, we have the Morse code going down in gold with her story in tow. And she walks slowly, collecting the mosses and being part of the earth as she moves through, looking for the suffering. So one thing I just wanted to speak to that's really important to me is that as you're discovering, these works are created using rust, natural dyes, stitching, embroidery, Morse code, assemblage. But really the important thing I want to speak to here is that the works are in collaboration with branch, leaf, flower, sun, soil, and water. That they are as much a part of this story as I am, and that we worked in harmony together. So they deserve a lot of respect. And I just wanted to say that each piece represents hours of work, from concept to dyeing to manipulating and framing, and that this is a slow and patient body of work, and that I hope you enjoy it, honor it, and take it in as you will. Thank you.